This is Hard Rockology Show. This is Matt and Chris. We're joined today by a great new band. Actually, not that new of a band. They've been around since 2011, coming out of Milan, Italy. Name of the band is 60 Miles Ahead. Guys, welcome to the Hard Rockology Show.
Hi there.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you. Thank you.
All right, now this is a big question. I have to ask this question for you guys. You guys are in Milan, Italy. Why 60 miles ahead? Why not 60 kilometers ahead?
Yeah, in fact, the original idea was about kilometers, but our sound was very American at the beginning, and I think even now in some way. So we choose miles because
Yeah, I'm going to say
was sounding.
Yeah, it's a good choice. I think miles sounds a lot better than kilometers. And you just said something. You guys just said something right there, more of an American sound. And I will have to say, I've heard a lot of bands coming out of Italy and different parts of Europe, and they do have that European sound to it. So you guys really did capture an American type sound. Was that something that you guys were trying to do, or was that something that just metastasized into what the sound is right now?
Probably it's, something from our unconsciousness. So we didn't want to sound American, but, we listen to a lot of American bands. So probably that just happened.
I mean, for me, and I've listened to a lot of the music, you guys seem to have, I guess you could say, put into a blender a lot of different styles of music. You could say the classic 70s, 80s style music, some grunge style, some of the music from the 2000s, and you kind of blended it all together. The new album is a lot more melodic in nature, which I think works for me. I mean, it's a progression, I guess you could say, from your EP to your last album to this album. Was that your intention, just to basically have all these sounds and just put it together?
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's natural for us because everyone listens to a different kind of rock and metal. I am probably the grunge guy. I listen to a lot of punk rock too, and we are very, very, very different about that. Fulvio listen to a lot of 80s hard rock, glam rock, I think.
Yeah.
And
I'm into rap.
Little Warren DeMartini, huh?
I prefer Robin Crosby. Yeah, he's my favorite.
Okay, so what Rat album then? What's the best Rat album?
I really like Reach for the Sky, but the best for me is Invasion of Your Privacy.
Is that just because of the girl on the cover, or is it because of the music on the album?
Well, mostly because of the girl.
I love it, man.
There are a lot of great songs on that album, and I don't know, it's my favorite. And Robin played a lot of solos, so that's why.
And this next question is for you, Sandro, because your vocals, I mean, and even the lyrics, I'm not sure who writes the lyrics in the band or how that works with you guys, but there's definitely progression from the EP to the last album to this album. So, and I can even hear it in the vocals as well. So is that the case?
Yeah. I write many songs in this new album, Insanity. There are many different. Man, this is my first live interview, and I hope you understand what I'm saying.
No, it's okay. 'Cause I was going to ask you. I mean, because it seems like everybody brings something different to the table. So, I mean, what kind of style of music was your influence that you're bringing to the band? Because it seems like everybody in the band's got a little bit of a different influence, which seems to work for you guys. So, I guess my question for you, Sandro, is, I mean, what's your influence? What kind of music do you bring to the table that you were really drawn to, that you're bringing to the 60 miles ahead?
I bring in the album all my insanity, like the name of the album. It's so important to write of my sensations, because I need to find myself in my songs with all my mistakes. I have many influences, but every time I try to write some song, I think about my.
He's in the 80s, like me.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that's what I was getting at. So, I mean, so you're a product of the 80s. You got Fulvio's a Rat fan, so I guess that's what I'm asking is what were some of the bands that you were listening to that really influenced you now as a singer?
Aerosmith, Bon Jovi, and many, many others. Shine Down, Alter Bridge. Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit more about your Insanity album. I mean, one of the favorite tracks on that album for me, I mean, I do like the track Every Time I Try, which is the video you guys released for the song. I mean, so why don't you guys talk a little bit about that particular track and maybe some of the other tracks on the album?
It's got some kick-ass drumming on that song.
Yeah, it does have some kick-ass drumming on that song.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna say, Luca, your fills and all that are
It's fun to watch him in the video.
Yeah, it's fun to watch you in the video as well too. So,
Thank you. And about the song, at the beginning we were thinking about the band life. So it's more about people in the business and fake fans that are trying to bring you down every time you try to do something better. But after that, it took a very, very personal meaning for everyone in the band. For each one in the band is something different. It could be about love and girls, could be about alcohol or other kind of struggles.
It's about, when every time you try to do something good, there's something or someone that tries to bring you down, and that's what the song is about. It's about the rage, about the anger that you feel because of those people, because of those events, and it's about it. And each one of us, has a different perspective about the song. I mean, I'm thinking about something, and Francesco probably is thinking about his girl, or Luca is thinking about it. It's very personal, and we hope that people will see something in this song. Probably they can recognize themselves. I'm just trying to become a great, lawyer, and there's someone who doesn't want me to be a lawyer, and so he just,
So basically,
it's not about the subject, but about the feeling, the being stuck in that situation.
So basically what it sounds like to me, it sounds like it's a track that, depending on who the listener is, it's going to have a different meaning for anybody that listens to the particular track. And that's what I kind of got out of it as well too, is when you listen to that particular song, you could fill in the blanks, whatever it may be, whether it's a girlfriend, whether it's a job, whether it's something going on in life, whether it's drugs, whatever. So I guess in a way, it's kind of unique that you've crafted a song that whoever's listening to the song could sit there and say, hey, you know what, this applies to me at this particular situation. So congrats to you guys for that.
Thank you. That's perfect for us.
Another track on the album that I actually like a lot is Dirt and Lust. So what's going on with that particular track?
Well, it's a song about life on the road and what happened on the road that should stay on the road. You know what I mean?
I get an idea of what you mean, guys, but I wanted to ask you, since that's going to lead into my next question. I mean, life on the road and for a rock band in Italy, what is the rock scene like there? I mean, do you guys travel to other countries? Because I know Europe is a lot smaller than the United States here. So what's the scene like in Europe as you're traveling around?
Yeah, we've been traveling a lot in Italy, and abroad we've been to Switzerland and Austria, and it's very, very different from here. I mean, when you go and play in Italy, it's always like being at home. It's not so different. If you go to Rome, that is quite far from here, you find the same way to react to the shows and to live the rock and roll scene. But if you go to Austria, it's very, very different. Anyway, we had good parties. Even it's very, very hard at times to make rock and roll in Italy because it's very underground.
Well, there's another band that we're friends with that we know, a band called Stop Stop. I'm not sure if you've heard of them before, but I know Jacob, who's the lead singer, bass player, actually had a stay over there in Milan, Italy, and all that. Are you guys familiar with the band Stop Stop?
Stop. They will play tomorrow night near Milan. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Because I know he originally came out of Spain, Italy, and then he eventually migrated over to England. Are you guys planning on staying in Italy, or do you guys plan on maybe going to England or another part of Europe, maybe Sweden, who's got a big resurgence in this style of music? So is Milan, Italy going to be where you guys station and work out of, or do you guys plan on maybe relocating to another area?
Yeah, we are definitely trying to go out from Italy, especially in England, in Sweden, in Germany, and Austria, Holland. Everyone in the business is telling us to go there and bring our music there. So yeah, we are working a lot on it, and we have some news about that, but it's too early now.
Is there something you don't want to share yet, or you maybe want to give us a little idea what that news
Looks like
is?
It's not official yet. That's why.
Yeah, it's not official. Yeah.
It's not official at the moment, but we are trying to do our best to go abroad.
To go abroad. Now, does that mean like the United States?
Yeah.
All right, that's what I want to hear. So, all right, I do have a question for you. Most of the time when bands are releasing albums, they usually release the albums, and then there's always an acoustic version of a particular track that they add as a bonus track. Now, there's a track on your new release, No One Else. Great song, but it's an acoustic song. What was the motivation behind that? Because most bands don't usually put an acoustic track on their album. They may do the song, with the electric guitars and everything else, and they maybe do an acoustic version later on as a bonus. Any particular reason why that's an acoustic track on this album? Because it works. It breaks up the album, and it's just a really good track.
Thanks, first of all. And it's in the album for the same reason that you said. We need something slower. We need something, a ballad, a real ballad, an acoustic ballad, a piano ballad, whatever. And the song was ready, and we just changed some chords, and it was done.
Is that the way the rest of you guys feel there? Because for an acoustic song, and I'll touch base with you, Fulvio, playing acoustic and playing electric guitar, which you shred on, are two different things. Playing acoustic, it's a lot more challenging because if you, excuse my language here, if you fuck up, everybody's going to know you fucked up when you're doing an acoustic track. So I guess I'll ask you this. I mean, is it a lot harder playing the acoustic stuff or playing the full-on shred that you have on most of the album?
Well, personally, I think it's more difficult to play an acoustic guitar. Usually when I'm playing live, I fuck up a lot when I'm playing acoustic. So, yeah, acoustic, it's way harder than shredding or doing something on the electric guitar.
All right, is there any chance you guys ever do that song live? Just break out the acoustic and play that song live?
Yeah, we are doing it already. We are pretty used to do an acoustic song on every set. I mean, if you're playing more than 30 minutes, we always have an acoustic song because Sandro and Fulvio too they are great in that kind of stuff live, and it's always a good moment in the live because I can go off the stage and drink some beers.
All right, let's do a little self-promoting here. You guys got a brand new album. This is 60 Miles Ahead. Name of the album's Insanity. Great album. I'm going to go through each member of the band, and I want each member of the band to go ahead and pick a track, their favorite track on the album, and why it's their favorite track. Okay, I'm going to start with you, Luca. Do you have a favorite track on this particular album?
I think it's Used to Believe, the closing track of the album.
And why is that? I mean, is there something about that song that resonates with you, or is there a story behind it?
Yeah, I wrote the original idea of the song, and it's very personal to me and very personal in this particular moment. I'm 29, so I felt like I was 16 since maybe last year, but now I think I'm growing up, and the song talks about that. about growing up and knowing that it's not so simple like you were thinking.
And if you had to ask me, it's one of my favorite tracks on the album as well. I think it closes out the album, so an excellent choice on your part. All right, Francesco. Francesco, you got a favorite track on this? You got a favorite track on this album? What's your favorite track on this album?
I think it could be Dead Space. It's for an easier way. It's not about lyrics for me, but it's maybe because it's the heaviest song on the record, and I'm more of a heavy metal type of guy, so I think that's my favorite to play, listen to play.
All right, so I guess that being six, I know you were a friend of the band before you joined the band. So future releases from 60 Miles Ahead, can we expect more of a heavy metal type of sound out of the band?
We'll see.
All right, Fulvio, you have to have a favorite track in this album. What's your favorite track in the album? And it can't be Dead Space, and it can't be Used to Believe. So come on, what's your favorite track in this album?
Okay, no one else is my favorite.
Any reason? Is it just?
Yeah, it's very personal to me. I wrote most of the lyrics, and Luca helped me out in the end. But it's very personal. I mean, it reflects a particular moment a couple of years ago. You know, when you go through changes in life, to survive, you have to love yourself. You have to, to care about yourself and not wasting time or life or whatever. So I wrote that song because I needed to hear those words. And well, in the beginning I needed someone to tell me those words, but in the end no one was there, so I said those words to myself. That's why I wrote that song, and that's why it's so personal to me.
All right, the lead singer, Sandro, favorite song, favorite track on this album that means the most to you, that resonates the most with you?
I like to say that Lost in My Mind, the first track of the album.
Why is that? That's a great track that opens up the album. So what's going on with that particular track, and why do you like it so much?
The track introduced to the album, was written in a period of facing radical decisions in life. And life is seen as a wide river that knows its path and won't stop flowing. This powerful vision expresses a deep sense of freedom, but also danger and fear, a duality that brings a blurred state of mind, a sort of unconsciousness where we can get lost and face our deepest fights and dreams, I think.
Sounds good to me.
You know what? He wasn't reading.
He wasn't reading? Yeah, that was like the top of his head?
It sounded like he was reading a little bit.
Yeah. It did sound like you were reading.
I'm not reading.
Okay.
I'm not reading. I'm sorry.
All right, now I'm going to throw this is the one thing. You guys,
this the monkey wrench?
This is the monkey wrench question, okay? You have one song out of your entire catalog. It could be from the EP, it could be from Millions of Burning Flames, it could be from Insanity. If you had the 160 Miles Ahead track that really says this is who 60 Miles Ahead is and who we are, what's that one track that you guys are going to play to sit there and really make your mark?
I can say Polite Conversations, because this is the first song that we have wrote together. And the first song of 60 Miles Ahead, Polite Conversation.
So is that like your encore track? Is that the one that you guys play at the end of all your shows?
Yeah, exactly. How do you know that? Do you know that?
Well, it's Hard Rockology.
You've been to enough shows, right? You're just taking a guess.
We just take a guess. So. All right, Place Conversation. So the first track you guys wrote is probably the one track that's
pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. That the first track that you guys wrote together is the one track that you still close out all your shows. So that's actually pretty cool to hear.
Yeah, we wrote that the very first time we played together.
Yeah.
All right, so what do you guys have planned for the rest of this year and going into 2017? Do you guys have tour dates, or anything else planned for the listeners out there? So maybe our European listeners might know where to catch you guys. So what do you guys have planned for the rest of this year and going into 2017?
we have 1 month of promotion, so basically radio promotion. We have a lot of radios, both here in Italy and in the USA, Australia, and that's thanks to Chris and Kenny from Eclipse Records. So thank you, Chris. Thank you, Kenny.
Yeah.
And for the new album, absolutely, for the new year, sorry, we want to play a lot. So we are about to announce new dates, both here in Italy and maybe abroad.
Hopefully.
Well, I have to ask you
Absolutely.
this. I mean, you put together this album rather quickly. Are you guys working on some new material as well? Are you guys always writing? Do you guys have some other stuff you're working on as well?
Everyone has a couple of songs, but we are now beginning to put them together with the band. We are now starting, yes.
All right, so there's definitely going to be some more 60 miles ahead after Insanity. I like it. All right, you guys, nothing but the best. Hope this record takes off for you guys like I think it should. There's some great tracks on there. And you know what? Enjoy the holidays. Merry Christmas to you guys and Happy New Year. And hope to see you guys over here next year, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
She lies through the words of my prayers. Her whispers are gonna drive me insane. I'm starving to feel her trouble on me. She's hiding my rainy skies. After all these years in my eyes, I'm waiting for something better to be.